Okay, we're going to look at binary, and the first thing that I'm going to do is sort of do a binary decimal hexadecimal table. This is just a pattern. When you get into the exam, maybe if you turn over the exam paper to the back where you've got lots of line paper, or maybe ask for some more paper, this is a very, very useful thing to write down. Now, there's several ways of writing it. It's not the only thing that we can do, but it's probably the most useful. So I'm going to do binary digits. I'm going to do 4 binary digits. There's 16 of them. And we start off with 0. Now there is a pattern. So let me do the pattern first. On the right hand side, I'm going to have a 0, then a 1. And I'm going to repeat that pattern for all 16 lines. So it's 8 versions of this. 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Got to repeat this again. 0, 1. Going to run out of screen here. 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. Okay, so let's just move that up so you can see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So you start off with 0, work your way down, repeating that pattern. In the next column along, we're going to do a similar pattern, but we're going to double it. So I'm going to have 2 zeros together and followed by 2 1s, and that is the pattern I'm going to repeat in the next column. You don't need to do this. If you can remember the binary from 0 to 16 off by heart, just write that down, but this is one way of trying to remember it. So we're going to repeat this pattern: 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, and 1, 1. So that's my second column. Now I'm going to move over to my third column, and I'm going to have a pattern again, but this time I'm going to double this one. So I had 2 here, so I'm going to double it up to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros to begin with, and then 4 1s, and then 4 more zeros, and 4 more 1s. So we don't need to have any mathematical ability at the moment apart from reproducing a pattern. In the next column along, I'm going to double it again. I'm going to have 8 zeros this time. So I had 4 here, I'm going to have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Notice it just goes down to the end of the first column of 1s each time. And then 8 1s. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that is my pattern. I've got all my 16 binary, well, they're little nibbles, but they're in order. That's the important part. So please make sure when you're writing this down that they are in order. Start with zeros, then 1. Don't start with a 1 and a 0. That's incorrect. So you should, at the very top, have 4 zeros, and at the very bottom have 4 1s. And that's your pattern. So that is binary. So if I write bin at the top, we've got our binary numbers. What I want to do is now write down decimal. So I'm going to write decimal on this side, and that is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because I'm in decimal, I can have a 10, an 11, and a 12, and a 13, a 14, and a 15. Now you might say, oh, you said there were 16, but you've only gone up to 15. Well, I have, but don't forget we started off with 0, so there are actually 16 numbers there. And on this side, I'm going to write down the hexadecimal values of these. And as far as the decimal ones go, up to here, it's going to be identical. So I'm going to do 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And I'm going to stay in single digits, but I have to use letters now. That's the whole point of hexadecimal. So I start off with A, B, C, D, E, and F. And that's it. And this is a conversion table. So decimal value 10, looks like this in binary 1010, which looks like that in hexadecimal, which is A. 13 looks like this in decimal, looks like this in binary 1101, and looks like this in hexadecimal D. So that's a conversion table that we're going to use. You need to practice writing this down, and it should be the first thing you do when you start your exam, on the back of the paper or anywhere. Try to use lined paper, and then you can keep them pretty much straight. If you don't, you're going to go off at all sorts of angles and not be able to see the digits clearly. If that happens, then just draw a line yourself across each one so that you know where it goes. So that's the table. We'll make use of it next.